I know it's hard, I know it's complicated, but I promised you've been waiting here forever. I had a much to say, but you're not here with me, no. We're invincible, like fire in the snow. Trust me when I say you are my beautiful world, and I'm feeling it all, we should make an effort. It's true you're so far away, and it's true you don't feel the same. But if you take my hand, we can try and go back, starting from scratch. I won't let you go, no I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go, no baby I will not, because I still believe. You're my gravity. You will never be what I expected. Different frequencies, that's why we ain't connected. You know I will make it through, I got nothing to lose but you. It's true you're so far away, and it's true I can feel the same. It's another day, you know you want me to stay, but I go my way. I won't let you go, no I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go, no baby I will not, because I still believe. You're my gravity. You're my gravity. You're calling on my name, but the echo numbs your pain. Sorry, but more than just a shadow, I'm more than just a man. You don't care how I feel, you don't know how I feel. No, you don't know how. I wash away the sorrow till my heart can beat again. You're my gravity. No, you're my gravity. I will let you go, the only thing that I know. You were my gravity, but now I have to leave. I will let you go. Why do you feel that I want? What do you think that I want? I know how to breathe into my gravity, into my gravity, into my gravity, into my gravity, into my gravity. I know it's hard, I know it's complicated, but I promised you've been waiting here forever. I had a much to say, but you're not here with me, no. We're invincible, like fire in the snow. Trust me when I say you are my beautiful world, and I'm feeling it all, we should make an effort. It's true you're so far away, and it's true you don't feel the same. But if you take my hand, we can try and go back, starting from scratch. I won't let you go, no I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go, no baby I will not.
Warning. The Duracell Cup Series data file you have attempted to access is out of date. Uploading current file now.
It's a brand new car from stem to stern, and it's never been raced at these speeds.
The next gen car is opportunity.
Everything is different with the exception of like the seat, the steering wheel, and your helmet.
Unknown creates excitement.
Talking about my generation.
Good afternoon, race fans. Welcome here back to the Sonoma Raceway as we get set for Cup qualifying this afternoon. Preparation for tomorrow's 8th race of the season with the Duracell Cup Series, the Alliance Truck Park 245K. Kick things off here with an expedited knockout qualifying session. 2 available spots, 2 non-charter drivers in tomorrow's field. 5 drivers each qualify for said positions, and they will have 5 minutes, which will equate to maybe 1 or 2 really good laps to try and qualify their way into tomorrow afternoon's main event. A few of the drivers we've seen on the regular: Autumn Brooks, Bryce Egan. We know that they are full-time non-charter drivers attempting to make every start this season. Got road course ringers that are attempting to qualify: Andrew Miller and Ralph Mason, we will see later on this afternoon in the Light Series race. Same can be said for Chris Dallerton as well, a former champion. He will be in the Lights race this afternoon and looks to attempt the double here in the entry out of Blue Oval Automotive, the all-star car out of that stable. As we're seeing drivers gritting up here on pit road. Timer has already begun. We are fast approaching, only 4 minutes remaining. And it looks like these drivers might be thinking about just getting 1 good lap to be able to qualify in. Again, top 2 drivers will make it into the show. And Andrew Miller in the Powerade Toyota Camry XSE out of Fortnite Squad Racing is going to be the first one to head on out. This is Andrew's 2nd attempt at making a Cup Series start this season. We saw him earlier on this year attempt to qualify at Pocono. Came up just short. This was actually the car that Benny Watson that weekend qualified in, knocking Andrew Miller out of the starting lineup. Andrew, a very good road course racer, tabbed to be in the 3rd entry this weekend out of Fortnite Squad Racing, and he'll attempt to join his teammates Carson Gum and Dylan Poteet in tomorrow afternoon's festivities. I like this call, head out there early to get at least 2 laps, because I'm not necessarily certain you're going to be able to get the car completely up to speed, get those tires at the optimal temperature for just 1 lap. Through turn 11 there for Andrew Miller, and why not? Let's take a lap around Infineon Raceway with the number 75. that was not ideal for Andrew Miller, who clocks in at a 1:15.301. But when he came out here for his up-to-speed lap, Dollarton was leaving pit road and hindered his lap there through the second half of the course, down towards turn 11, through the paperclip final turn, and up to the start-finish line. And that has dropped him to second place. He did not get the lap time he was looking for. Autumn Brooks improved on that to a 1:14.808. Right now, she's second on the board. Bryce Egan at a 1:13.920. Ralph Mason's going to get only one lap here. As you see, we're under a minute left. Dollarton's only going to get one lap as well. Miller will get a second one. Brooks, I think, might get a second one. So Bryce Egan's got to hope that two drivers do not beat his lap time there. That 1:13 might be good enough to make it into the show, though. Let's see what happens here with Dollarton and Miller. Dollarton going to clock in at a 1:14.427. That's good for third. Miller 1:14.397. That jumps to second place behind Egan. See what Autumn Brooks can get here. Improves to a 1:13.688. Top of the board for the Spider-Man Mazda. Her teammate Ralph Mason's first official lap time will be third fastest, 1:14.278. And Brooks will drop to second as Egan clocks back into the top, 1:13.569. So right now, with the red flag out, it looks like our two full-time non-charter drivers may be making the show. Egan out of Haas Racing, Brooks out of Garage 55. We'll see if there's enough runoff on the clock for Dollarton to be able to complete this lap or not. He did cross the line before the zeros were registered, so he may be able to complete this lap. Not sure if the same can be said for Andrew Miller. We'll see when they cross the line here if indeed they will score the lap for them or not. But right now, a 1:13.688 is what they'd have to beat in order to make it into the show. Dollarton will get scored, and he doesn't quite beat it. 1:13.715, 1:13.988 for Andrew Miller. Neither of them able to beat Autumn Brooks' lap time. Let's see if they score her. Yes, they do. She goes to a 1:13.379. That puts her to the top of the board. Mason gets a second lap maybe, and no, he was the last driver. He was the last driver to not get to the start-finish line in time. His lap time will be disallowed. And Autumn Brooks, 1:13.379, will put her top of the board. She will qualify into the show along with Bryce Egan. So Brooks will make her sixth start on the season. Egan will make his fifth. And your one-off drivers, Dollarton, Miller, and Mason, are going to fail to make the show. We'll see Dollarton and Mason later on in the Light Series race. And Andrew Miller, I believe his next start that we'll see him attempting to qualify at may not be until, maybe not till Watkins Glen. We'll have to check on that. But there you see it. Top two qualify their way in. Brooks and Egan. Dollarton, Miller, and Mason will miss the show. So now Brooks and Egan with a little bit of extra track time here. Knowing what the conditions are, we'll see if that gives them an advantage as they'll go up against the other 40 Duracell Next Gen Cup Series drivers in the final qualifying session to run for the pole. We'll give them the opportunity here to get those cars out onto pit road in preparation for the conclusion of qualifying this afternoon from Sonoma, as we'll step aside for a quick commercial break. Thank you for tuning in to today's broadcast on NNSCRA TV. If you enjoyed your watching, it would help us out a lot if you'd hit that like button. Also, if you're not already, be sure to subscribe to become a part of the NNSCRA crew today. And if you're on your phone, be sure to click that bell to be notified whenever we have a broadcast here on NNSCRA TV. Once again, we thank you for your support, and we hope you continue to enjoy today's broadcast. Well, time to run for the pole position here this afternoon at Sonoma. We've got our two drivers from Go or Go Home qualifying locked into the field, and now 42 drivers will take here to this racetrack to try and find out who's going to be starting Out in front, who's going to have the good starting track position and who may have to rely on strategy to get the track position they may lack. 15 minutes on the board. Timer has begun. And I think probably you're going to want to get off of pit road as quickly as possible here. We saw even with only 5 cars on the racetrack just moments ago, drivers hindering other drivers' lap times with them coming off of pit road and drivers just getting up to speed. This is a smaller configuration of road course is Sonoma to a lot of other racetracks. I mean, you consider where we were supposed to originally be here this weekend, Circuit of the Americas, much bigger racetrack. It's going to be congested here once we get all 42 cars out there, and you're going to want to get that optimal lap time with nobody in front of you, be able to drive into these corners as deep as you want to. And we see a number of drivers now heading out onto the track, including Benjamin Snyder in the 38, who I'm certain was very happy that we ended up having the swap from Circuit of the Americas back here to Sonoma, because if you go back 2 seasons ago, this was nearly the place where Benjamin Snyder picked up his first career win. Led a good portion of that race in his rookie season, then driving for Lake Effect Autosport, and ended up finishing in the top 5. Would have probably won that race, but had a restart violation. Nick Gunther would eventually go on to win that event. But Benjamin Snyder coming into this weekend looking for a little bit of revenge. Snyder coming into this race 24th in the point standings after dropping 5 spots after a poor finish last week at Indianapolis. Saw his teammate Chris Dollerton fail to make the show moments ago. So it will be Benjamin Snyder, Zachary Fitzwater, and former champion Caleb Vogler, the entries out of BOA this weekend. Casey Hoyt. This has been maybe one of the biggest shocks of the season so far. There was a lot of hype around Casey Hoyt coming back to the series, signing with Northeast Motorsports that had a lot of success last year with the consistency out of Austin LaPlante, the 3 victories with Connor Breton. Victory with Matthew Rodriguez as well when he made the jump over during the playoffs to this team. Hoyt, of course, 3 wins last year and the defending Rookie of the Year, but this season it has been anything but smooth sailing. 26th in the point standings, 1 top 5, 2 top 10s. But the average finishing position in the first 7 races is 24th. At some point, you gotta feel like they're gonna get it figured out, but it's a matter of when. Kyler Sestre, one of 6 drivers that is yet to score a top 10 this season. Laura Chung, Keith Batson, Zachary Fitzwater, Jesse Turner, and the defending champion Jessica Shelton. Also amongst those yet to score a top 10, Sestre is 31st in points coming into this one. We saw the Haas racing cars look really good in qualifying yesterday in the Light Series race. Obviously, Bryce Egan's got a lot of speed in his Toyota for the team, qualifying his way into the show just moments ago. So we'll see if that speed translates over to the other Haas racing cars. We're going to start to see some good lap times clocking in there with Snyder, Hoyt, and Sestre. Somebody just got off track right there. That was Destin Bolin. Oh, man. Destin sliding off the corner there. Doesn't look like he hit anything. I don't see any damage on his Maxwell House Dark Horse Mustang, but man, we were talking about yesterday. He's going to be this afternoon qualifying, or taking part, I should say, in the Duracell Ultra Light Series race. They're trying to get him some extra track time, and the fact that our Pocono winner is now 38th in points coming into this one. He is ineligible for his Pocono win to count towards a playoff spot because he's not in the top 30 in points. He's coming off a DNF last week at Indianapolis where he finished 41st. Things are just not going right for this driver out of Young Motorsports. The fortunate thing was he didn't hit anything when he went off course in that excursion, so no damage. He should be able to continue to log laps here and try and see if he can have at least a decent starting spot tomorrow afternoon. As we look at Jesse Turner. Turner, another driver that's yet to get a top 10 this season. Talked about the kind of shocking year that Casey Hoyt is having. Same can be said there for Jesse Turner, maybe one of the most consistent drivers in the series the last couple of seasons. Former winner last season. We're coming into this one 33rd in overall points. And you look at the success that there's been for his teammates here in the past recent weeks. Eric Monaco with a couple of pole positions. Top 10 in the point standings. Alexander Rowe just on the outside of the top 10 in points, looking in. Coming off a solid outing last week at Indianapolis. And got to wonder when that luck and that speed's going to translate over to the third entry there with Jesse Turner, who right now sits 9th on the board at a 113.272. Well, we didn't run Sonoma in Season 7. Last time we ran this racetrack was Season 6. That was where Nick Gunther got Mazda its first career win in Duracell Cup Series history. So he comes into this weekend the defending winner of the event. Nick Gunther right now 37th on the board. Proves there to 18th on his second full speed lap. Nick Gunther coming to this one 16th in the point standings. 2 top 10s so far in the first 7 races, and he has won a race every season for the last 3 seasons. Looking to continue that streak here and maybe get a second win at Sonoma in 3 years. Eric Monaco, who got his second career pole last week at Indianapolis, the only repeat pole sitter so far this season. Right now he is 39th on the board in the PNC Bank Dark Horse Mustang. Monaco had the pole position last week, but he did not have a good long run car. He free fell through the running order and dropped 3 spots in the stands as a result as well. 10th in points coming to this one, the last points paying spot for a playoff position. Dylan Young and Kyle Matthews, little We the Coasters conglomeration right there battling each other. Dylan Young in the iron gauzy colors this week. Kyle Matthews in the bright yellow, mellow yellow Chevrolet. Right now, Dylan Young is 34th on the speed charts. Dylan coming into this one 20th in the point standings. Last 2 weeks have not been good for him. Had a mechanical problem last week that had him finish way down in the running order, losing him 7 spots in the standings. He was a driver that was in the top 10 in points in the first few races of the season, but trying to get some momentum back. Kyle Matthews coming into this one currently situated 28th in points, 1 top 5, 3 top 10s in the season. But both he and D. Young running pretty close in terms of speed. D. Young 35th, Kyle Matthews right now 33rd on the running order. 38th fastest right now for Keith Batson, and now drops to 39th. Keith, another driver yet to score a top 10 this season. Former winner last year, former playoff contender. But after 7 races so far this season, 30th in overall points. Eric Sadler, talk about an ultimate high to an ultimate low the last couple of weeks. Got that first career win at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Moved up in the top 10 of the point standings, but then last week involved in an early wreck and finished dead last. That dropped him 5 spots in the standings. He is 9th in overall points coming into this weekend, looking to get back onto the uptick after the tough luck at the Brickyard. 22nd fastest for him right now. Caleb Fogler is right now sitting 12th on the board at a 113.029. His teammate Zachary Fitzwater currently the fastest in qualifying. Caleb Fogler 39th in the point stands coming into this one. That is next to last in points of the drivers that have made all 7 starts this season. Former champ really needs something good to happen here this week. Start moving his way up through the point standings. I don't want to say it's panic time for a lot of drivers, but it is a lot easier to get above the cut line and maintain later on in the season than it is to try and climb your way up multiple spots in the standings. Connor Breeden, 20th fastest right now, as he's going to bring the Interstate Batteries Chevrolet Camaro to pit road for an adjustment with a little more than 5 minutes remaining. Connor Breeden at 37th in points. He suffered a poor performance last week at Indy. dropping 5 spots in the standings, and this may be the sleeper of the point standings coming into this weekend. Ryan Brommer. Right now, he's 11th fastest on the charts at a 112.990, but Ryan Brommer is 7th in overall points. He has been what I like to call quietly consistent. This has been his best season since jumping over to the Auto Junction Racing organization. And keep an eye on him here this weekend. It's always the quiet ones you have to watch out for. Cody Lamas, the Advent Health Chevrolet Camaro this week. And they brought some pretty good speed in the Llama Racing Chevrolet as he is 3rd on the board right now. 112.779. Cody had a decent run last week at Indianapolis too. Moved up 3 spots in the standings. He's 21st in points coming into this one. Cody trying to continue to build this single car entry. It was first organized back in Season 6. Quentin Moore. We've seen James Qualls obviously have success, that win last week in Indianapolis, but we have also seen the success for the entire Joanna Atwood Motorsports organization across the board. Joshua Osborne, top 3 in points coming to this one, and Quentin Moore has also felt the effects of the good fortune. He's 18th in points coming to this one, had that great run at North Wilkesboro, had a decent run last week at Indianapolis, and bringing some good qualifying speed here this weekend. Defending champion Jessica Shelton, right now 30th fastest at a 113.313. Shelton yet to score a top 10 here in her title defending season. And she is 36th on the board right now as well in terms of the point standings. The only really highlight for Jessica Shelton so far in the first 7 races is the pole position she got. Other than that, it has been uphill sledding for the Dodge Intrepid project car out of S3 Motorsports. Well, we've seen that so many times here where a driver will win the championship and then the following season they really struggle. Not been a struggle this season for Levi McIntyre though. He is your new points leader coming into this weekend. 5 points in hand over the former points leader Jack Mitchell. Been a very consistent year here for Levi McIntyre, who has 4 top 10s on the season. That is tied for the most with James Qualls. 2 top 5s, an average finishing position of just over 10th. And of course as well, as mentioned, top of the board in terms of the point standings. Where he is not top of the board is the speed charts right now. Levi is 39th at a 113.526. And so a driver that comes into this race at the top of the point standings may find himself with a huge lack of track position in tomorrow afternoon's race. Daniel Voiles last week scored his first top 10 on the season. That moved him up 4 spots and stands to 35th, and the speed continues over here this weekend as he is 2nd on the board right now. In line to start on the front row alongside of Zachary Fitzwater, 112.722 right now, the fastest lap for Voiles. Austin LaPlante, who is the furthest down the point standings of drivers that have made every start this season. 14th fastest right now for him. Boy, he really needs something good to happen this weekend. If you look at the point standings, we mentioned about the fact that he is the lowest in the point standings of those with 7 starts. How about the fact that Bryce Egan only has 4 starts this year, and he has accumulated 16 more points than LaPlante has in nearly half the races run. Only 1 top 10 so far this year for LaPlante, but maybe, just maybe, this is the turnaround point. Rookie out of Michael Norman Motorsports, Daniel Bouchard, as we're under a minute remaining. 17th fastest for him. Daniel coming into this race currently in the 25th position in points. There's his team owner, Michael Norman, 20th fastest right now for the Pizza Hut number 22. Michael coming into this one, currently positioned in 12th in the point standings, trying to get back up into the top 10. And there's the fastest car in Sonoma right now, Zachary Fitzwater, at a 112.547, which at this point in time looks unlikely to be toppled. So Fitzwater looking for what would be his first pole on the season. 32nd in overall points, and hoping that the pole would translate to his first top 10 finish on the year as well. Anthony McCurry right now is 4th fastest on the charts. Reggie Fogelman is 5th. And remember Destin Bolin had that off-track excursion there up ahead into turn number 2? Well, he's been able to move up to 6th on the speed chart, so good job by him. Jack Mitchell 2nd in points is right now 28th on the board. Joshua Osborne 3rd in points is currently 34th. James Qualls, last week's winner, is currently 35th. Cole Deaver 5th in points. He's currently dead last. So, talked about Levi struggling on the speed charts. It looks like we're not going to have a single driver inside our top 5 in the point standing starting any higher than 29th. Benjamin Miles 6th in points, so will be starting 8th. So he'll be able to gain some pretty good ground on the top 5 in overall points when the green flag drops tomorrow afternoon. See the zeros on the clock. Looks like the red flag is out. Not sure exactly when they stop scoring for these drivers, but I don't think anybody's going to be able to topple the 1:12.547 laid down by one Zachary Fitzwater. A couple of drivers getting last-minute time scored right there, it looks like. A Blue Oval Automotive's driver that moved over to the organization from Evans Motorsports during the off-season. Going to be leading us to green tomorrow afternoon. It will be an all-Ford Mustang front row with Daniel Voiles, just a couple cars ahead of Fitzwater there, clocking in 2nd. Highest starting Chevrolet will be Cody Lamas. Highest starting Mazda, Anthony McCurry. Highest starting Toyota will be Reggie Fogelman. There we go. Session is complete. And we will show you now what will be your official starting lineup for tomorrow afternoon. Gave you the top 5. Bolin there in 6th. Quentin Moore 7th. Benjamin Miles in 8th. RJ Bishop, good qualifying effort in 9th. And Casey Hoyt will be completing the top 10. Sustre, Brommer, Fogler, LaPlante, Matt McIntyre, who comes into this race top 10 in points. They're the top 15. Bryce Egan, who was 2nd fastest in knockout qualifying, will be 16th on the charts tomorrow. Carson Gum, Daniel Bouchard, Summer Henson, Alexander Rowe, your top 20. And there you see Mitchell, 29th. Osborne, 35th. Qualls, 36th. McIntyre, 41st. Deaver, 42nd in the final row. Those drivers I just named off, your top 5 in the point standings coming into this weekend. Is this race going to be all about track position? It very well might be, and if that's the case, the top 5 in point standings are going to really have to either have really good long-run cars or going to have to finagle some pit strategy to get a decent finish tomorrow afternoon. But it will be interesting to see what happens here later on today in the Duracell Ultra Light Series race. It will give us a little bit of a precursor of maybe what to expect tomorrow. Hope you tune in for that one. Congratulations to Zachary Fitzwater, his first pole of the season, as he'll be leading us to green tomorrow afternoon in the Alliance Truck Parts 225 here from Sonoma. In a couple of hours' time, we hope you join us here as it'll be the 8th start of the season for the Duracell Ultra Light Series drivers right here from the Sonoma Raceway, their first road course stop of the season. And if you guys enjoyed this qualifying session, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, part of the crew today. Be sure your starting lineup for tomorrow, and we will see you guys either later on this afternoon or tomorrow afternoon for Cup Series action as you've been watching another broadcast courtesy of NNSCRA TV, offline racing at its best.
The following has been a presentation of NNSCRA TV for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of the NNSCRA is prohibited. NNSCRA would like to thank all of our loyal fans, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.